gold, again, great performing asset. It's a great, if you look at back and compare the 70s and the early 80s in gold, it's an amazing replication of what we're seeing now, yet we just haven't started the big move up in gold that should be coming. So there's lots of places to go. And I would say this is that, you know, in general, long-term investors have had their field day since the Fed began bailing the markets out. It's now becoming more of a trader's market where you buy, but then you can't just say, hey, I'm going to tuck this away for 20 years. You want to actually just take the profits and run and then look to rebuy on the next dip.
Okay.
All right, so intermediate price target, number one, we've seen gold come off of the lows. As soon as the Fed showed any sort of dovishness, that's when gold bottomed, right? They didn't have to cut rates. They didn't have to do anything like that. They just had to show that they weren't going to keep hiking by 75 basis points. Gold has surged up. It's hitting some resistance right here at around 1,800. I think in the short term, it's going to break through there, and I think you'll head up to about 1,900 and change. In 2023, you should surpass the previous all-time high of around $2,070 to $2,070. And I actually think you have a good shot of making a move towards 2,500 in 2023. Yeah, so the tailwinds are that the Fed does a 50 next week, then a 25 in January, February, right? And then they're done. They're going to have to step aside. You're going to see the jobs market start to really deteriorate. We know it's a lagging indicator. I think you even got the jobless claims just yesterday coming in a little bit higher than expectations, meaning more people filing for unemployment. So the tailwind is right there. And then the secondary tailwind is, where are you going to put your money? Let's say we do go into a U.S. recession and stocks go into a prolonged bear market. Where else are you putting your money? Where do you protect your money? With elevated inflation, no Fed rate hikes, and a stock market that the earnings per share continue to drop for stocks.
I'm just going to put...
And I think you have to look at what the dollar did. The dollar was incredible. If you look at the run in the dollar, so the dollar rallied 20%. Gold only at the lowest point was down about 7% on the year, I believe. So it showed relative strength. But again, watch out for gold. And I will say that it's going to be a great performer.
Gold mine.
I do. Again, they're more volatile, obviously. But the key is with the gold miners is you really need to see inflation subside, because their input costs, especially if gold goes up significantly, that's great for them, but they are paying their employees more, they're paying more for their equipment, and that's why early in the year they underperformed gold so much, is because of those input costs they're earning. So I don't think that you'll see necessarily it reverse. I think that as the stock market in the U.S., which has taken in more money than any stock market globally, any asset class globally in the past, really 13 years since 2009, as you start to see less returns being generated, money will have to go towards other markets, including gold, including Bitcoin, once you get regulation in Bitcoin. So I think that there's plenty of money there in a prolonged bear period for gold to thrive and Bitcoin to thrive. Yeah, I do think the dollar starts to come in. I don't think you're going to see a ton of weakness initially. It's not like the dollar is going to collapse, but I do think the dollar has actually put in its high recently and is now on a downward trend. So I think it'll take some time. I think the biggest drivers for gold will be a slightly weakening dollar and then the economic struggles that will hurt the stocks and the stock market valuation. In 2022, we said gold would be Bitcoin and the S&P 500. I'm going to re-up, and I'm going to say gold will again outperform percentage-wise the S&P and Bitcoin, but I will make this further out prediction is after next year, Bitcoin will be the best performer going forward for multiple years.
Okay.